This is the Badass Dad Pod. It's time. It's time to level up on our relationships. I'm going to drop 7 tips for actions we can undertake today that will have our dear ones feeling super loved and appreciated. My name is Ryan Dunn. I'm a Duke of Silly Romance, a sweatmonger extraordinaire, wonk of penny pinching. I'm a level 8 gym warrior, a level 6 relationship ranger. I think I've gone backwards there. A level 5 debt mage, and your lawful good podmaster. And actually, back to that relationship ranger thing, I probably should demote myself even more in the relationship level because I have been slipping lately. I've been sullen and separated from my family, and I realize I just haven't been attentive. I find myself really trying to separate in the evenings, like just wanting to go off and do my own thing. And with that, I've realized that deep down, I know that's not how I'm going to live my best life. I'm going to live my best life by having a strong, supportive marriage and investing myself in others. And I think that's where I've been coming up short lately. I've not been investing myself. So this episode is really a response to me. In the pastoring world, they say our best sermons are the ones we preach to ourselves. This episode is a version of that. I'm seeking to reclaim my level 6 relationship status, and I have 7 ideas of things I can do today to get me back to level 6 and beyond. Let's go. First thing is something I just did. First thing is to admit that I haven't fully been invested. It would probably make a bigger difference if I admitted this to my wife. So that'll be the text or note I send right after this. Just a note to say, hey, I've been feeling disconnected lately. Sorry I haven't been fully present. Would you like to hang out with me tonight? I think that'll be appreciated. Now, maybe you haven't been withdrawn like me. I think the more universal step here would simply to take a moment right now to let your significant other know that they are on your mind. The beauty of our age is that it's likely you can do that right now, either by texting, calling, messaging, or the old-fashioned way, talking. I hear people still do that. Now, the second thing I want to do is I want to address why I've been separating lately. As in, why am I feeling sullen and sulky? I'm going to cheat ahead and admit that I've already done the legwork on this one. And here's what I figured out. I'm hiding. I'm hiding because that is way easier to do than to admit that I'm not feeling very good about myself. I think I'm not feeling very good about myself because I haven't accomplished some of the things I've set out for myself to do. So I get caught up in this feeling of needing to be productive, and I get frustrated when I don't feel like I'm really doing that. And so I hide, and it sucks that it affects her. So I can call myself out on my hiding. That's my circumstance. As for you, can you spend a few moments pinpointing why you hide from your spouse? Maybe you're ashamed of something. Maybe you're feeling some resentment you need to address. What can you do about that today? All right. Third practice to level up in spousehood right now. Sounds super simple, maybe eye-rollingly simple, but here it is. Make a list of 5 things you appreciate about your spouse. You don't even have to share this with your spouse. This practice is simply to frame our own thoughts in a positive mental space. So spend a few moments making a list of 5 things. At some point, you may want to drop little notes or compliments. We all like to hear that we're appreciated. But again, this list is really just for your own headspace. When we approach our spouses from a place of appreciation, that will greatly affect the way in which we interact, which should be awesome. Okay, practice 4, we're moving quick. Take some nudie pictures. No, just kidding. Kind of. Actually, the practice is just to do something flirty. Quote a little poetry or offer a sultry compliment. Maybe don't send a dick pic, but send some kind of flirty pic. Like your best impression of bedroom eyes. I don't know. Just be playful and let your spouse feel the thrill of being attractive. Maybe this is a chance to share something from your compliment list. Okay, moving on. We're already up to number 5. Show some enthusiasm for something your spouse is enthusiastic about. Even if it's fake enthusiasm. Your spouse may be able to smell that BS, but he is going to super appreciate your willingness to share their interests. So the next time your spouse comes to you and says, hey, I want you to look at this thing I found online, well, don't make a big show of putting away your iPod and 80s media wrestling game, and instead set that thing aside and say, hey, what you got? Show me. We're talking hypothetically here, of course. This is a simple demonstration of love, and it totally reassures your spouse that they are important to you. And I've been sucking at this one lately. So let me offer this. If your spouse makes you a playlist, listen to it. They've invested time. And you're not listening to the playlist makes you both feel like jerks. Again, hypothetically. Okay, for real. Here's how I let my wife know I've listened to the playlist she made me. I put some of the songs that she put on my list onto the playlist I curate for her. Another pro tip, I eavesdrop on what she listens to in the morning, and then I drop that onto the playlist too. I found that we really love to listen to lists that includes music that's familiar and likable to us. So by doing these two things, I give her some nuggets to grab onto on the playlist I create. Okay, playlist aside, let's jump on to practice number 6. Hey, ask your spouse if you can share time. Most likely this entails asking your spouse out, or like in, I guess, on a date. Say, hey, will you go out to dinner with me on Thursday? Now, they may not accept, but no one minds being asked, right? Maybe you're in a penny pinch phase, so ask, hey, can we watch a couple episodes of Warrior tonight? You get the idea. You're picking this up. We're already on to tip number 7. Do something your spouse normally does. We try not to be like too hung up on gender roles in our house, but we have developed an unspoken agreement that she does certain tasks and I do other tasks. And I crush and I take out all the recycling, for example. She does dog grooming and most of the bathroom cleaning. So I can sweetly surprise her by wiping down the shower. That kind of thing. I'm doing something that she normally does. Oh, and when you do this just for the other person. In other words, don't do this with an expectation that you'll get something in return. Like, forget the old trope that a man doing housework is a way to get laid. You're not doing this for sex. You're doing it out of appreciation. Okay, last tip I'm going to drop on you. I guess it's a bonus. An 8th tip. Give your spouse 5 minutes today. 5 agendaless minutes. Let your spouse dictate how this 5 minutes is going to play out and just go be in their presence. Again, for 5 minutes without pressuring them to do something or without you interjecting yourself to fix something. Just be there with them. Listen as needed and be as needed. Okay, that's it. This might set the record for shortest episode ever, but I feel like it's enough. Hey, if you want more tips and to get stories of others practicing this stuff, join up the Badass Dad Squad on Facebook. It's super supportive. It's a super cool group of people. If you appreciate this episode, also share the appreciation by mashing the subscribe button and that 5-star rating. I covet your 5-star ratings. Okay, I'll be back next week in search of your 5-star ratings. In the meantime, I remain your faithful podmaster, Brian Dunn. Music is by I.O. Ellen. Okay, bye.